Welcome back to the Red Card Podcast. Surya, how you doing, boy?
Is that our new intro
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna pick a musical styling every week, and I'll
every week?
and
And
I'll
you're gonna
sing in
change
that
up the
style.
intro. I like it. When are you gonna rap about it? That's what I'm waiting for.
After next week, after Jesus comes
Next
out.
week, yeah, you're gonna rap about it. All
Yeah,
right,
dude.
I'm looking forward to
I'll
that.
spit some bars. How you doing, bro? What's going on?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing real good. Well, I got a lot of work otherwise, but I'm doing good.
I feel that. Well, let's jump right in. I know we usually start with Arsenal. I like to hear, but for
So do I.
once, top of the table is looking pretty tasty. So I kind of want to start with the game of the week. Harry Kane turning up for the first time this season,
Bro,
showing City what they were missing,
yeah,
showing Daniel Levy what he should have. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Daniel Levy can be vindicated. Look, his talisman gets the performance. But man, like, what a match. What a back and forth. And title race is on, bro. I don't know if you watched it, but what do you
yeah.
feel?
So okay, so Liverpool have a game in hand, right? So let's say they win that one,
Yep, yep.
then they're at 60 points, and they're still one whole game, one whole win away from Man City, right? So like their hope there is that they beat Man City head to head,
Exactly.
right?
In April, yeah.
And then it's a tie. But I see Liverpool dropping more points than Man City. Look, like I think the reason I think teams like Spurs will beat Man City, I think it's just there's something fundamental about how their attitudes and style of play come together, right? So here's my example, right? Like I think bar none, the Man City have been the best team in the league the whole season so far,
Hmm.
right? And but Arsenal have an easier time playing against them than they do against Liverpool, right? So, but like, why should that be, right? So I just think that this Man City versus Spurs blip is just one of those instances where, regardless of how one-sided the tie is, it's just there's something about those two tactics that sort of that interplay in a very interesting way that isn't so like Tottenham just do one thing really well, and that one thing happens to work well against City and not everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair to City, I mean, they had a lot of chances. They easily could have won that game, and
Hmm.
they had the draw in their pocket after that very clear pen. And I guess you're right. Like Spurs have this one style. I guess we can call out a few of the goals. I mean, they obviously, and Harry Kane was mentioning this in his post match interview. It's kind of just like the aim was to use himself to kind of drop deep and then get the
Exactly.
runners in behind, and it worked perfectly. That first
Yeah.
goal, he gets the ball in behind. Son is in. He's onside, and he can squares it perfectly. You got to give some credit to Son. Like 2 assists on the night. What a player! What a fantastic player!
Both of the goals where Harry Kane made his
Oh
own
yeah.
goal and the goal by what's that guy's name? Something Evsky. I forget his name.
Right, exactly. Well, and even his goal, he started the move. So he
Yeah.
initially got the ball out wide. He made the run inside, and it was kind of shambolic to the defense is just ball watching, and not watching for Harry Kane's the one striker on the pitch, like his run into the box.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. Let me look at the team sheet, see if they're. Oh, come on, how the fuck do I do this?
Yeah, pull that up, and I guess I can just kind of mention.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Where's the game?
But Gundogan, pretty good finish, and I guess obviously like after that first goal, like I was mentioning,
Mhm.
like City were relentless. So like even after they got the second goal, I mean they were just backs to the wall defending the whole time, pretty much.
They really were. Yeah.
So it was like if with a more clinical or cutting edge, like the classic line was like if they had Harry Kane on the pitch for in light blue, like you never know, you might have had a few more goals in there.
So here's my question, right? So what's happening now with Nathan Ake? Because like I think it was in the Arsenal game where he played really well, right? Like Arsenal were on top of Man City, and Ake now is not starting at Laporte and Ruben Diaz. I feel like Nathan Ake might be as good as Laporte, if not better. But anyway, yeah, I mean the Spurs subreddit was of course really happy about this result, but I'm not too concerned. I think because I think it's in the same way Arsenal can be dog shit, but they'll give but they'll give and City a great fight because just like how they play works well
Yeah,
against City. I think it's that case where it's just sort of that same Tottenham thing. It's been happening
yeah,
every game in like the past four of their meetings with Man City,
yeah.
right?
And you mentioned
So I'm not too
mentality
concerned.
too.
I think they'll go a
Yeah,
bit back to where they were and end
yeah,
up sixth or something or fifth.
for sure. And I guess like you were also mentioning mentality too. Like I just think that sometimes though it's like it's very easy to pick yourself up for a game like that. Like I guess I was in the kickoff chats like during the match, and it was just like you try to explain like how does Spurs even after like losing 3 games in a row and all this like they can go to Southampton, they can lose to Southampton at
Yeah,
home, and then all of a sudden they win against City. I mean, I guess it's like how much easier is it to like motivate yourself to try to beat the best team in the league, to try to put a performance, and for Harry Kane to try to put yourself back in the shop window for the only team that's going to shill like 100 mil for you in the summer because you're definitely not
yeah.
going to win any trophies with Spurs. Like, let's be real.
No, no, I mean, I'll be honest. In that game, he's certainly upped his value, and he'll, like
Yeah,
if he has to move, he'll get a lot more money now. Well,
yeah,
Daniel
perhaps.
Levy will get a lot more money now.
Perhaps, and I guess like I guess we can just kind of touch on the last frantic few minutes. I mean, clear pen. I've never seen such a clear pen, and honestly, we're gonna talk about the Arsenal game later because there was literally an identical play to that, and they didn't give the pen. Shem fucking bollock refereeing.
Oh,
Like,
to Arsenal?
yeah, at the Arsenal game, there
Oh,
was
so, okay. So,
same thing. His
so
hand was up like this, bro.
I thought so too, but then, so here's my, so okay. So whenever I say it should be a penalty, I have to understand my own sort of, because I'm an Arsenal fan, and so I always see, whether I can argue the other side, and I can, and here's the reason, right? So like in the one where it is, in this game against Spurs, right? The guy's hand, as the ball went, his hand came up and it hit like right here, right? Whereas in the Arsenal game, the player's turning over and his hand is moving in, and he's trying to move his hand away from the ball and it hits here, right? So like there, I think it's not, like it's very hard because he's actively trying to move the ball. His arm is moving away from the ball, right?
Yeah,
But the ball hits it anyway,
yeah.
and his back is turned. So I think that's why, like, it isn't a penalty. But I will take every opportunity to say shambolic refereeing.
For
Because
sure.
I saw United's game, bro. The number of fouls Scott McTominay committed and got one
Oh
yellow the
my
whole game.
god, bro.
And
Oh
Gabriel
my god.
Martinelli got 2 yellows for blocking a fucking throw in and a shove. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
that game was wild.
Ridiculous.
That game was absolutely wild. But yeah, I guess we can just wrap up on this Spurs game. Like clearly,
Fucking United.
it looked like City had the point at least locked in, and then Harry Kane shows up. I mean, I forget the name of the new guy, but the new signing, great assist too, great cross, and honestly,
Oh, his
pretty
name
poor
is
defending, and yeah,
Kulusevski.
Kulishevsky exactly. But yeah, I mean, great scenes from Conte. I guess maybe the last question I have for you on Spurs
Yeah.
is like, what do you think about Conte's demeanor? I mean, I guess there's been a lot of talk about like how he's so negative in the press and he's giving off bad vibes. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand it. It was funny to me too, like to watch him like basically ask for Levy to do a clear out in the summer. But you gotta admit that like it probably doesn't do well for the players when he goes out there and just says their shit every week, like and says that they're like irredeemably bad. You know what I mean? But at the same time, then he celebrates like that and he's like, "Oh, this is a
Well,
game to show us what we can do."
so I think so. One thing that Conte said, right, was that the way like his interview was translated made it seem like he was coming off as a lot more upset, a lot more angry about the players than he actually was. He's like, I know Daniel Levy and I have an open channel. He knows exactly how I feel, and actually, I recall him saying that he will not give interviews in Italian anymore, and/or to
Wow.
Italian and/or in Italian news like outlets anymore. So, like after that happened, and so I think it's actually all right. I mean, like he has fucking Son and Kane, but you can't be too unhappy. But
That's for sure.
you know,
And he's got it. He's got it. I mean, he got that new signing. He's got. I mean, like, look, it's not like Spurs are a poor club. They
yeah,
they should be able to attract good talent with him in the wheel and like
yeah, exactly.
and if and look, I guess like maybe the last question is like, can they make top four? I mean, I don't know. At this point, I mean, they have the
Not
same
buying
games
it.
in hand as Arsenal, but they are one.
They do.
Yeah, dude.
For real?
Here, I'll show you right here. I'll pull up the table.
All right, you're right. Okay, so Arsenal. No, they do. Oh, you're right. They do.
Yeah, they
Well,
do
same
with that
number of
one.
games, and they're exactly one win away. Like
Right, exactly. And the North London Derby will happen in
well,
next
okay,
month.
so I mean, just compare Arsenal's last 6 games to Spurs' last 6 games, right? Arsenal lost only a single loss, one draw, the rest are wins. Spurs 3 losses, 3 wins, right? So like, right, like the most likely thing is that their form will continue how it is,
Yeah, I mean, I
and
think I agree. I think
Arsenal's will too, and so I think Arsenal
it's in
will do it.
Arsenal's hands, in my opinion.
Actually, it's weird because I don't think the red cards are over yet for Arsenal because like even in that Brentford game, I was like, bro, Gabriel is like the referee is not happy with him. Like he's gonna get himself sent off. I was so sure of it was gonna happen that game too, but thankfully it didn't. Although yeah, I mean like Arsenal gets so all the players get so like crazy energized that they literally go crazy and then they just they can't control themselves. It's wild. Like even in that game, I was like, this is a kind of he's gonna have a red. Like it's gonna happen. I know it. And then I was like, shit, dude, is this just how Arsenal does it now? Like every game, like you're in danger for a red card.
For sure. I mean, yeah, last week I said it was kind of like youthful and energy and all that. And I guess like sometimes you might make an argument that like maybe if you have like a level head on the pitch, who's the captain, like not the red card merchant Chaka, like that you can like maybe calm it down and like have.
The
But
youth, I'm crazy, bro. The youths,
then them youths, them
they're
crazy youths.
crazy. The youths, they're crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. So I mean, now the vice captain after Lacazette is not Xhaka, it's Tierney. And
Oh,
Tierney,
that's gonna be good. I think that's the
Tierney,
right choice.
Tierney also gets angry, but yeah, I think overall he's the right choice. I think after Lacazette leaves, like it should be Tierney for sure.
Yeah, and he definitely should be on his way out. I guess like
Hey,
maybe yeah,
yeah,
go
his
ahead.
contract's over.
Yeah. I guess I was gonna talk about Liverpool. We're talking about Arsenal. Let's talk about their match. I mean, 2 goals against Brentford. I guess there's kind of one right at the end, where it's kind of like it's all over the place. It's about, but Arsenal seemed in control. I
Yeah.
gotta give a shout out. I mean, I don't know the actual lyrics to the song, but Saka and Emil Smith fucking row, bro. Oh my god, what a duo, bro! 2 brilliant finishes. I mean, what do you think about these boys, bro? They're going to top 4 in my opinion. They
Bro,
have
they're
to be.
just so good, bro. They're just so every goddamn week they're getting better. And
Oh my god.
that's a sign of a good coach right there, bro.
Oh,
The
Arteta in.
like you're improving the players. You're improving the young players. Emil Smith Rowe, since Arteta has taken over, has worked goals into his game so well, and now he's assisting and scoring and carrying the ball. He can play, left wing. He can play number 10. He can play right wing. He can play number 9 if he wants to, according to Arteta. But
Yeah, he's
you know,
amazing. And I think I heard from Troops, he said that he's the first academy player to score 10 goals since Fabregas.
yeah, dude. And he's currently Arsenal's
Top
top
scorer,
scorer.
bro. Yeah, he has to be on the pitch. Like,
He's killing
honestly.
it.
And
And it's wild that he's usually he's on as a sub and he's still the top scorer. That's how good he is.
he's so good. Honestly, and the energy that both of them provide is just like. And honestly, too, they're clinical. Both
Yeah.
of them. They just know how to get a finish. I guess obviously at the Emirates, it's at home, they kind of are used to the pitch. But my God, like 2 great finishes. I guess there was one disallowed goal for Lacazette. He was offside, by a little bit, but he was offside. But man, like this
I
is
think
the
it's
future.
time. I think it's time Art had to shave his head and wears the turtleneck like that.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I have to say I was wrong about Arteta.
Molding these wingers into superstars.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. And honestly, like he just needs a few more puzzle pieces,
We need
and
a
he's
striker.
set.
That's striker. But Lacazette can't score for anything. He had so many opportunities.
Oh, he had so many
Yeah.
chances, and now Obama
Yes.
ain't gone. Get his hat
Arsenal
trick
just
recently.
need a striker. Right? Like if we had a striker in January, if we had Blahovic in January, I would have called top 4 like guaranteed, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's very much on. I mean, it's in their hands for
No,
sure.
it's really on. It's not just very much on. We have 3 games in hand over West Ham and United.
And Manchester United.
Yeah,
Ironically
yeah.
enough.
West Ham and United. So, and we're tied with West Ham. So I mean, like they're already, they're not gonna make top 4. No way.
Yeah, they honestly they
And
just
then
fell off a cliff.
and then we're only 4 points behind Manchester United and 3 games to just just
Three
to get
games.
5 points. That's easy.
Yeah, and considering United's form, I mean, they're not a side that gives me confidence that they're gonna keep. And like you said before, I mean, I guess their recent form is pretty good, but they don't give me the confidence that they'll be able to deal with that pressure. And obviously, like, I
All right,
guess you
so
could say, yeah.
Arsenal's not the next game, but the game after is against Watford. I'll be honest, until this very very like moment, I'd completely forgotten Watford were still in the Premier League. To be honest, until
Yeah,
this exact moment, I'm like, oh yeah, Watford, they're in the league,
they are at
they're
the
in the
bottom
Premier
of the
League.
league, and I really
I
only
haven't
have followed them because of
thought about them at all.
yeah, they are a forgettable club. But Ben Foster, I guess he's the Foscast. Shout out to the Foscast. That's the only reason why I like really have been
But Foster, yeah.
somewhat following them this season. But they got a good result actually that we'll talk about later. In any case, Arsenal's in for the top four. Let's talk a little bit about my team, Liverpool, just because it's a bit tasty at the top four. It was interesting, decent first half. That Norwich put up a good fight and they kept in it, and then they gotta get this fluke deflected goal on Matip. But I have to say, for Liverpool's sake, obviously I know you mentioned it's a little boring, whatever. It's like I guess you're right, like to a degree. It's like it would still be
The flop is
expected result.
done.
Bro, Klopp is amazing. But I mean, the team really rallied together. I mean, beautiful finish from. I mean, first of all, the subs make a difference again. Obviously, I guess the in the last Champions League game, Henderson coming on, all this like it changed the entire game. I guess in that case, Harvey Elliott was kind of out of his depth in Europe. But same thing, a couple subs on, they changed the whole dynamic of the game. Thiago gets his calm feet on the ball. And yeah, dude, Sadio Mane finally gets his overhead kick that he's been freaking asking for every game. He keeps trying it, and he finally gets it. And you got to give some shout out to Ali and Mo. I guess this is like I guess that's
Yo,
yeah.
they should call Mohamed Salah. They should call Mohamed Salah a pharaoh because he's playing like a mummy, bro.
Oh, I mean, he is the Egyptian king, which is definitely the pharaoh.
And they're all dead. They're all
Eh, they're all dead, but Salah is very much alive.
no. All right, all right. Whenever he goes bad, that's a prime insult, bro.
That's
He's
prime, bro. That's a
the
prime.
Egyptian
I mean,
pharaoh.
it's coming up.
He's dead and buried, as they
Well,
say. Dead and buried.
he won't last that long. In any case, great touch from Ali's distribution, and obviously there's the famous goal against United like a couple seasons ago, that was like that. But that was like a thing that was happening when they were at Roma all the time. Like that was just like they had that like connection. But definitely good from them, and it kind of sucker punch too. It was like 1-2 right after the Mane goal, so it really like killed the
So
wind out of the Norwich sails.
how likely do you consider Liverpool being able to win the league right now? Like in the current spot they're in compared to City.
I think that's a good question. I think it's interesting because and actually you kind of did this with the fixtures for when we talked about the top four race.
Yeah.
If you look at the fixtures, it doesn't really look promising for Liverpool. Like if we're being honest, like there's a lot more opportunities for them to draw points. And here, maybe I can kind of just show this
Yeah.
while we're talking about it. But okay, so Leeds tomorrow. That's a big one. West Ham will be tough, for sure.
Leeds are easy though, right? I feel like Leeds have dropped off so much in quality. I think it should be an easy win for Liverpool.
It should be pretty easy. I
I
definitely at
believe it, yeah.
home.
Yeah.
But if you look, I mean, okay, Brighton will be difficult away for sure, and an afternoon game. But Arsenal
Brighton.
at the Emirates is not easy. United at Anfield is not easy. It's a big rivalry.
No, like I honestly think that Arsenal game is an easy win for Liverpool. I think even though how well Arsenal have played against teams like City, I think it's just one of those things where like regardless of how good Arsenal are, just the way that Liverpool play, the pressing and how fast they're always running, I think that just Arsenal can't cope with basically.
Yeah, it certainly might be. I don't know if it'll be easy, but definitely it might be easier than like obviously City and some others.
Yeah.
But even this, like obviously, like now it's like you're at the business end of the season too. So when you get to these end games like Newcastle and Everton, like
Yeah.
it might not be a terribly, but it's like a prime banana skin. So it's like if
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they're fighting for relegation. So it's like these games are, and even Spurs, like they are tough games. Like especially
Actually, yeah, because like if you're playing them in May, they've had a long time to get better under Conte.
Oh yeah, and likely if their fixtures go well, like let's say if they beat Arsenal or whatever, and
Yeah.
they're actually in it for the top four, and of course Syria's gone. This is the woes of Linux, my friends. Like, this is Discord on Linux, bro. Like, Discord on Linux. What else do we expect, team?
Hey,
It's a
I
common
don't know.
fixture. It's a common fixture.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Bro, just like
Nothing happened on my
Discord
end.
just likes
I
to
think
send
it's
them
you
off.
that time. Your whole thing was at the bed, and I was just here waiting, like, what the fuck
You're
happened?
right, bro. I mean, I think it's just like Discord likes to send you off. It's just like your football takes are so bad that they just have to send you off. Like,
I think it's just the problem with the electricity in your area. I think it's a you problem.
it's definitely a me problem. But
It's
yeah,
definitely.
if you look at Man City's fixtures, like
Yeah.
so much easier. Like
Well, I mean,
Everton.
I mean, dude, like they have to play the same, 19 other teams in this half of the season, right?
Well,
It's not that much easier.
I mean, yeah, but I guess like we still have Arsenal, Spurs. I think Chelsea's the second to last.
Yeah,
Like, we still
well,
have
Arsenal.
tough matches, and this is done. Like they got all of their tough ones done in the beginning of the season. Even this Manchester derby at the Etihad, they're gonna slap them across the. Like,
They're gonna-
it's like there's nothing, bro. And Newcastle and like so like for example, our game with Newcastle is at their ground. So like that's gonna be much more difficult for us with their crowd and their everything. They're fighting relegation. This is like fucking and at the Etihad, it's gonna be like 5-0 or some shit. But yeah, I mean and I'm not it's not outside the realms of possibility that like some teams like who knows, like maybe Crystal Palace, they've been a bogey side in the past, they can get a cheeky draw. I mean, maybe you get West Ham at the London Stadium right at the end of the season, maybe because it could be down to the wire. I mean, I do think that there's a big chance that we get that win and we're around them, after April. But I think I agree with you in the sense that like it's much more likely that we will drop points, even if it's a draw here or a draw
Yeah,
there,
I agree.
than
I agree.
them. So
I
it's
agree
like
with
I'm not gonna really get my hopes up. Like, but I think that it's like the other argument is that it's a game of momentum, football, and it's like. This is gonna give us some wind in our sails. Like if we can, and like putting pressure on. Whoa, that was a shambolic. Whatever fell down there.
Like I said, it's on your end. The
It's
problem.
on my end. Whatever the fuck just fell there. I don't even fucking know. But yeah, in any case, like I'm cautiously optimistic. Obviously, my heart says that we definitely can, but just because like, putting pressure. I guess like we've never really chased City except for that one season, and even that one season it was like fucking a fluke company, like top corner outside the box
Oh,
finish.
that was a great goal. That was a great
Bro,
goal.
that was the best goal I've ever seen, and when that goal goes in, it's
The
over.
defender captain scoring that goal in his last game for the club. Oh my god, man.
Bro,
It's like
in his last game for the club to win a title,
that
oh
made
my
in heaven.
god.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my short take there. But
Wait.
more exciting than weeks past for sure. And gotta give shout out to Diaz for getting his first goal for the club. Pretty nice finish. I think it's like a 34 pass move or whatever. But yeah, what a finish.
Let me ask you something. So, are there
bro.
still some games that have been postponed, although have not been rescheduled? I'm asking because I don't see the North London derby away at Spurs anywhere on the remaining.
That's
Maybe
a good
fixtures.
question.
I'm looking on Sky Sports, but it may be different on the Premier League website.
Yeah, exactly. So let me pull up Arsenal's fixtures here.
Because I'd like to know when that is. I mean, I think, like you were saying, right? It's a game of momentum as well, and I really think, Arsenal would do well to play Spurs now, slap them down, and then keep them down the rest of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so there's your
Slap
answer.
them down to earth. Slap them back down to earth. What?
There's your answer in the sense that it's not scheduled yet.
Oh, okay.
So I don't quite know when that will shake up, but that'll matter actually. That really will matter.
Yeah,
the
because
order.
like I'm looking for some gap in the games of like more than a week, but I don't see any. Everything is 7 days apart, and so wherever they squeeze that in, maybe it'll be in late May, early June, even like if it's the last game. But wherever they squeeze it in, otherwise, like it'll be two games in a week
it's
for
funny
Arsenal.
because the 3 games that needed to be rescheduled for Arsenal were Liverpool at home, Spurs, and Chelsea away, and Liverpool at home is already scheduled.
It's scheduled on March 16th. Yeah.
So I wonder if that's just because I guess Chelsea missed a few with the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
And then Spurs had the whole, like I guess they had the snowed out game and then a few COVIDs.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it hasn't been scheduled. But that's kind of those are tough fixtures to have rescheduled for Arsenal. Gotta say,
Yeah, dude.
that's for sure. In any case,
God damn.
let's talk briefly about United. I guess you mentioned Scott McTominay. First of all, let's just talk for a second about this like concussion shit. I don't know if you like paid attention. First of all, fucking McTominay, relax your shit. Slamming into Cox like I don't know what he's doing.
Bro, he got so many. Bro, his fouls were so bad, and
Bro.
how he got one yellow the whole game.
Bro, his
Blows my mind.
I
Bro.
mean, it was definitely like an old school. Like, I mean, the rain was
Oh my God.
insanely pouring. I mean, puddles were coming up. Like in every highlight you look, like you see the kicks. Like when they stopped it short, like you just see like a whole spray of water around the ball after the kick. It was a shambolic mess. And I guess it toned down by the second half, but that was really like old school muddy. I mean, and then like Leeds, you know, they were wearing white. Like by the end of this shit, every fucking Leeds player was brown. It was just like crazy. In any case,
You
like
know what?
yeah.
You know what? The people on our soccer, you know, like after like someone uploaded a clip on our soccer saying, "Oh, here are all of McTominay's 6 fouls, and he was only given 1 yellow card." All the comments were like, "Oh, Arsenal players are going to be on this. On top of this, I bet you." And of course they were. And then United. And it's like, hey, the ref was consistent the whole game. He just let the game go. I'm like, I don't care about consistency in your game. I care about consistency across games, right? Like, it can't be that one game, you know, you can do anything you want, and the other game, you know, we'll hand you red cards for it. Like, being consistent through one game means absolutely shit to anybody else except those 2 teams in the game.
I not only 100% agree, but I think it's also you can see the same thing with VAR because the whole philosophy with VAR is like let the ref on the pitch decide instead of making a freaking standard for what the decision needs to be and helping the ref get the right decision. So they're still leaving it up to this like subjective, and like I get it, like it used to be a subjective thing where it's like that ref is that ref, and I guess like you have different refs who have different styles. I mean, I guess they build it into FIFA. That's how deep it is where they're like, oh, like this guy's gonna be more lenient and this is not. But like, yeah, if we're gonna make something consistent, let's actually make a consistent standard.
If we're gonna exactly like if you're gonna if your goal with VAR and you know goal line technology is to take away the variability in decisions, then you know do the same with your referees, right?
I 100% agree.
Or I mean, look, worst case, you know, VAR should more often than not say, you know, tell the referee, hey, you didn't see this thing that we can see on the camera. Go look at the replay.
100%.
And that's it. Simple
100%.
as that.
This clear and obvious error crap is like such bullshit. Because like you just gotta make a decision. Like, what's the rule? Like, and
Like you're all like some of these like VAR calls already take forever. It would take as long, if not less time, if you tell the ref go watch the replay and done. Job done.
honestly, and at least that would keep their whole thing of like, oh, it's the ref's choice. Fine, but then at least you're actually forcing the ref to do it and not like choosing when or not to say it's an error.
Exactly.
Like
The ref then, you know, the ref can't say, "Oh, I'm watching it after the game," and you're right, it's a red card, but the VAR told me there was no clear and obvious error, right? He can't hide behind that anymore. He has to go see it.
yeah, honestly, that's I end the episodes with this, but like FA, sort your shit out, you bunch of frauds. Honestly, but yeah, I guess Maguire got on the score sheet, first goal of the season, the fridge. Getting in. Like, let's be real.
The door's open, bro. The door's open.
The doors of the fridge are open. And that was a pretty nasty defending.
And he's beeping loudly.
Oh yeah. And I guess Bruno right before the half, pretty decent finish. And you thought at that point that United were just gonna like run away with it, but a fluke goal gets Leeds back in it.
It's United, so.
It's United, but I mean, you have to admit that first goal was a pure fluke. Just like it was definitely a cross, and like I watched the whole game. It was quite it gave enough momentum that they could get that second goal. And let's be real, second goal, great across the box from Daniel James. I have to say, Daniel James, I've been impressed with him. I think I watched the last two Leeds games. He is just lively. Like he's got a lot of energy. I think it was the right move. Honestly, it's like a lot of the players that get stuck in these big clubs and they can't quite break into the team. Like I think it's a good move to because like it's not outside the realms of possibility that he plays well at Leeds for a couple seasons and gets another move, and actually is able to like And I think it's a lot of lone players like get that same argument where it's like you got to just get some game time. Like if
Yeah.
you're not getting game time, you're not really going to progress yourself. So I think that was a great move for him, and he was
No, like,
fantastic.
but what I'm really impressed by with Leeds, like even if like if they're playing poorly right now, is these are players from the championship, and all of them right are at such a level of passing quickly, accurately,
Mm,
great crosses, right? Like they've got
100%.
the fundamentals have been coached into them so well
Oh yeah,
that they don't have to be the most intelligent or flary players. The system can just
hundred
focus on the
percent,
fundamentals,
hundred
and
percent.
they, and they punch so above their weight. It's always amazing to watch.
100%. And honestly, that's a testament to like Bielsa. And you were saying it
Yeah,
before about Arsenal and all, and all the other clubs. Like a good manager makes a difference. And honestly, like
he improves the players.
yeah, 100%. And you can make the argument that they try to punch above their weight too much and that they leave themselves susceptible. But like I mean, they've done a lot better than Brentford this season, and they've been
Yeah,
able to get their results. And even if they go down, they end up finding a way to get back into the match well enough. I mean, I guess what was it against Villa, the 3-all draw. I
mm-hmm.
mean, they came back to it
They don't give up.
in style. Exactly, they never give up, and that really is the Bielsa style. And I have like this guy like he never sits down. Like what is with his crouching shit? I just don't understand. Like what is
I think
it
like
looks like he's
after all
taking a
that,
shit, you know?
after all this cigarette smoke, he's so on edge. He just can't sit down. His hands, his hands start shaking.
Marcelo Bielsa,
The anxiety.
fantastic. But yeah, ultimately didn't prove enough in the end. I forget who got the third goal. I don't know exactly. I don't remember who that was, but I know Ilanga got the last one, and there was the whole controversy of him getting hit in the head with the
Yeah.
coin or whatever. I don't know about the. I guess I watch Hugh Izzy also. I think he does paper talk every morning. Shout out Hugh Izzy, Daily like Thompson, Daily like paper talk. Um,
So let's see. The
but
goal scorers were it was Maguire, then Fernandez, then Fred, and then Ilanga. Oh,
oh, that's
Fred had a
exactly
good goal.
right. Fred came
Fred
on
had a
for
good goal.
Pogba, and it was interesting because I think the Israeli commentator said it right. Like I forget who was
Israeli
taking.
commentator?
Yeah, I
Are
watch.
you Israel?
Yeah, I watch with the Israeli
Oh, interesting.
package. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, because they have all the Prem games, and they have.
Oh, you watch all your games like that way?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, damn, dude. Just go on a stream.
Nah, but like this is it's more like a officially kind of stream, and I get the whole, whatever. It's a good thing. Any
Okay.
case,
Yeah,
he was saying like there was I forget exactly who it was. I mean, I think it was Ronaldo or no, it was actually Sancho. He got into a couple of chances where he just didn't. He was trying to take an extra touch, and like that
yeah,
game was a prime example, especially in those conditions where you just gotta whack it, bro. You just gotta like
yeah,
send it to the net and like
yeah.
force the keeper to make a save. That's exactly what Fred did. He comes on for Pogba, and he just like doesn't even think.
That
I
was a
mean,
good shot too. Yeah.
yeah, great shot, and he's like, I know, I just have to leather the conditions
Yeah.
are ripe, and I can beat the keeper at the near post. But yeah, thank you for reminding me. That was a freaking fantastic goal. And then of course Ilanga. I guess I was kind of referencing Hugh Izzy because all the headlines the next day were like, oh the fans were throwing missiles at the players, and you're like, bro, he threw a coin. All right, like he's gonna have a coin in his pocket. Like I understand that you say that he's not supposed to throw it. I agree with that. It's reprehensible behavior. But he didn't throw a fucking grenade. Like, can you just relax? Like, he threw a coin, okay? Like,
What
okay,
someone
maybe.
should do is they should hiss into a water balloon and chuck that at like
That would be better,
at some player. That'd be fun actually.
for sure.
I'd get a laugh out of that.
Yeah, in any case, Elanga got to silence all those fans who threw missiles at him. So at least that was interesting. And yeah, I guess Chelsea pretty lackluster performance. They got the I guess Ziyech he has his one goal disallowed. Happy for him that he can get his finish. But as we talk about Chelsea, I think we can pick up on the conversation we were having off air in the beginning. Like this Lukaku man, dude. Like I guess the question is Chelsea a better team without him? I mean, I would answer yes. But then what do they do now? I mean, is it a case of the similar thing to like Aubameyang where you just realize he's a little bit of a diva, maybe it doesn't fit the dressing room anymore, and you get rid? Or is it just, do you force Tuchel to find a way to use the 90 million pound asset that they wasted money on?
Huh? Lukaku? Who's that?
I don't know, man. Have you? I don't know.
Do you,
I haven't heard of him.
Are you are you referring to Balotelli? Maybe.
Mario, well, I guess they both played in Italy. That's true.
I don't think any Lukaku is on Chelsea. Let me look real quick at the team sheet.
Well, he wasn't in the match today, that's for sure. I'll tell you that. Kai Havertz in the false nine.
Let's look at the team sheet real quick.
I wondered, did he? Yeah, no, he was on the bench today. I'm pretty sure he was on the bench. He just wasn't used. But my God, bro. And I was saying before when we were off air, like, Chelsea Football Club, you spend 150 mil total on Timo
Well, that
Werner.
guy. Oh, I thought he was their like running coach or something. That's all he ever does, bro.
Well, there you have it, folks. He doesn't even exist. He's anonymous. So I guess we have our answer. He's gone. Oh man. Oh, but in all seriousness, what a diva, bro. What an you were even saying it too. Like, what an unprofessional. Yeah, dude.
Ridiculous. Like, how do you like change jobs and then the same work like you'd become total dog shit at? How's that happen? Like, you're going
Dude.
from great club to great club, money to money, but all of a sudden, I can't do this anymore.
Honestly, and he did. You know, it was really telling because we talked about it a couple weeks ago when he had that interview. But that was telling, like that his mind was just gone. Like he was not, something wasn't going for him. And honestly, I think you're right. Like he's not. He doesn't fit the style. He doesn't run enough. He's just kind of one of those. I mean, he's almost like Ronaldo in the sense that he's like waiting for service. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, this is the Prem. You can't wait for service. You got to do what Harry Kane did and drop deep and make chances for yourself. If you're not going to do that, you can't lead the line. And honestly, they look better with Kai Havertz in the false nine. It's like it's kind of
Definitely.
embarrassing.
Bro, I will say that's also slightly the one concern I had with Arsenal signing someone like Vlahovic. I was like, yeah, he's great, but imagine he comes here, because Lacazette really works in that system.
100%.
He gets the ball. Like,
Yeah.
and can Vlahovic be that guy? I don't know. And so it would be so bad to pay 90 mil. He comes here and then he becomes a Lukaku because it's not the system for him.
Yeah, and coming from Italy, where the pace
Yeah.
of the game is, I mean, it's probably the best league, other than the Prem
100% the
nowadays.
best. Well, yeah.
But still, it's still a slower pace. It's less physical.
Yeah.
And I guess
like
I
you don't have
wonder.
Liverpool there basically to make everyone run.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we don't really have a recognized striker. I guess Jota has kind of stepped into that role.
Yeah.
But we were always about creating a system to have all that front three. And honestly, that's how I see also Arsenal. Like, I guess, and I guess shout out to Troops. He was saying this too. It's just like, give me the front four of like Pepe, Martinelli, Emil Smith Rowe, and Saka. Like, even if like one isn't a recognized striker, like there's good finishers there. Where if you just make the system about creating space for each other, you're gonna put a good finisher in front of the goal most of the time. And and so it's like, I guess I wonder, like, maybe we already talked about our Arsenal, but like, who would you like? What's a target that you think is realistic to maybe fill that gap? And maybe they don't have to be a striker, but they could be like a center forward. But I wonder, is there anyone in mind?
It's so hard because like good strikers are so hard to find that are available.
What about like Patrick Bamford? I'm talking like someone from like someone in the Prem right now who's like a good finisher and just needs like a better system around him and better players. I wonder, like, that might be like an interesting, like, going down to one of those teams. I mean, like Ivan Toney, interesting shout. Just like
that'd be interesting. But like after those, having a kick with the boys like tweet after they beat Arsenal. Fuck that guy, dude.
Well, I mean, you mentioned that was exactly what Lacazette.
Yeah, he tweeted right after the game.
Cheeky from him on Twitter. I saw that. That was legit.
With the boys,
kick about with the boys, and clearly, I actually didn't know. You just told me. Basically, he was probably responding to that Ivan Toney shit.
Exactly.
Oh, that's amazing, bro.
But yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, okay. So it's hard to choose one right now, but like if I had to say my ideal world, right? Like what kind of a player Arsenal would do? Oh, with someone like Benzema, because he can do both. He can receive the ball, turn, maybe run with it. He can distribute. He can set players up, and he can score. Right. So like he's what Lacazette has, except he's got the extra flair and finishing. Like if we had a player like Benzema on the team, it would be out of this world.
I mean, if they make
And
top
or like
four,
prime Gonzalo Higuain as well. Like that kind of a striker who's
yeah,
not just a target man, but like is agile and
yeah.
can do multiple things.
Yeah, it's very interesting because, like, it's a weird shout, but, like, Arsene gives a call, French connection, Mbappe goes to Madrid in the
Oh
summer.
my! I mean,
If they
I
make
think
top four, Champions
Kareem is
League,
old now. How old is Benzema now?
he's pretty old, but still, like, it would be interesting. So, maybe a 2-year contract. Have
Yeah,
him
but
try to make an impact.
Arsenal really should, I think, splurge their cash on a long term solution.
I agree, I agree, I agree.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
Benzema, he is 34.
So yeah, no, that's not an Arsenal signing.
Yeah, he's too old for
Fuck
sure.
that.
But that will be interesting, certainly, to see in the summer. Okay, I guess before we talk about relegation and next week's fixtures, just a quick note on Brendan Rodgers and his Leicester shambolic failure. I guess I was watching the highlights right before we got on air, and I just feel like, well, first and foremost, if you watch the match, like Leicester just lacked cutting edge. Like honestly, they weren't that bad. They had a lot of chances. They were worthy of their equalizer. And I guess like it was Lookman and Daka on the pitch and no Vardy,
Yeah.
and Vardy's traditionally their cutting edge, but they just couldn't finish. They had so many chances and they just couldn't get them on target. And so I guess like it might be a little harsh to say like Brendan is like out of his depth and shit, but like I mean, I guess like they were playing Wolves, and honestly like when I thought about it, I was like Wolves are exactly what Leicester should be this season,
Yeah.
challenging for the top four, giving a bloody nose here and there to like top six sides, and like actually, well, I guess maybe not challenging for top four, but challenging for European spots and giving a bloody nose to those sides, but then also being resolute enough to get
They
all the
should be.
results against the other 14. And like Leicester
Yeah.
just like have been so inconsistent.
But
And we,
yeah,
yeah,
this this season has really broken Brendan Rodgers' hit like what I thought of him. And it's just like I'm just like, come on, man, you've got such good players, like, but it's not working out. It has to be
it
the
has to
coach.
be him. And honestly, I was thinking about it too, because like Suarez and Sturridge like really carried the team back when he had the one good season. I mean, you have to think about. I mean, Rory made a good point on shout out to Rory, Rory Jennings. He made a good point about like nobody ever mentions Brendan's last season where we got like trounced at at the Bernabeu when he put the B side, didn't even play Gerrard. And we lose 6-0 at Stoke for Gerrard's last game. Like there was I think we finished 6 or 7.
6-0.
Yeah, dude, you don't remember that? Like Gerrard's
That's
last game for the club was a 6-0 drubbing at the Britannia by fucking Stoke City.
Well, good. He went out same way he came in, bro, losing.
Bro. Well, in any case.
A loser.
So then you look at the same thing where it's like you got like Vardy and some of the other players like pretty much are carrying him, like giving him the necessary like points and goals when he needs it to just about stay in line. And like this season, it's falling apart. They're like languishing in mid-table when they should have been challenging for an European spot. And after they won an FA Cup, everyone's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they have a good. But clearly, like there's not much there. And like I guess Brendan can probably get his team to do. I'm not gonna say one good thing, but like he can probably get him. He can get him to one. He can get them to like one plateaued like level, but pretty much they
Yeah.
can't surpass that. And it's like, and obviously I don't know about the mentality in the dressing room there, but like I think it seems to stand to reason if he can't maintain that like Scottish level of dominance, that he just kind of loses the favor in the dressing room. He doesn't the character. He's just like he's not.
With a character.
He's not that tactically astute. It's like, in any case, the mask is off. But lastly, let's just talk about. Yeah, go ahead. Any case,
I was just agreeing with you. The mask is off.
yeah, for sure. Any case, let's briefly talk about relegation, just because there are a bunch of tasty
Brendan Rodgers
fixtures.
is more like Brendan Dodgy.
dodgy. Oh, well, in any case, another team that's super dodgy right now is Everton. Christ Almighty, like, I mean, you have to give credit to Southampton. Obviously, I watched the match too, but they've been doing well all season. Ralph Hasenhüttl, similarly to Bielsa, has a good system that he has in place. They don't have to be world beaters, but they have to have just a style of play that gets them into the right positions and decent finishers, of course. Obviously, like Leicester lacking cutting edge is a prime example. But then I guess I don't know if you saw that match, but like if you look at the defending from Everton, that is gonna be Lampard's biggest challenge. I mean, I think also mentality is
Yeah.
big. Like I think the True Jordy Bryan said a really good line where he was like, when Newcastle beat them, they looked defeated, and that's just not the mentality that you need to have to like survive relegation. You have to like be up for it and ready to like go again, even if you don't get the result.
Yeah.
But the defending was just fucking awful, bro. Like they can't keep a line. They're all ball watching. I'm not even a technical analyst. I know you even say you prefer the real analysts, but I bet you if you go to the analysts and they talk about the defending in those two instances, they're just ball watching. It's just so obvious. They're all like headless chickens looking where the ball is. And even the second goal, which happened relatively late into the game, I think it was like 70th or 80th minutes, something around there. It's like Shane Long, this like tiny short dude, coming in behind Coleman. Nobody's picking him up, and he ends up leaping over Coleman and getting and cross. And so I'm just like,
Yeah.
guys, like you guys got to pick this up, or you might actually get relegated. Like honestly, I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility. And here, I guess I'll pull it up. I'll
Bro,
pull
in
up the.
16, yeah, I mean, look, their form of last six game compared to the bottom three is much worse.
Oh my God, bro! Look at that. And actually, Lampard was already here for a lot of these too, so it's not like it was like new manager or whatever.
Yeah.
They just got that one win against Leeds, and that was at home. And I guess like they were trying to, bounce back from 3-game losing streak, which is, but like my God. And I guess I wonder what their next fixtures are, just for the sake of it. Now that we're here. But yeah, that's really my word on Everton. I guess I wish luck to Lampard, but I really don't see them
All right,
doing.
the next game is Man City. That's cool.
Bro, they are gonna get slapped around. Even
Then
Spurs.
Spurs,
They'll
and then
pro-
Wolves slapped around again.
Bro,
All right,
yeah,
all right,
Wolves.
so that's a loss, and a loss in their next three
Bro,
games.
honestly, and we already saw them draw to Newcastle. They probably won't do well there. Watford, who got a win this week, shockingly against Gerrard's Villa, they're gonna feel empowered in Vicarage Road to like get a result there. Like that's a 6-pointer right there. West
Can
Ham.
you imagine with a team like Everton, like the players it's got, being relegated to the championship? Like, do you have any idea that literally most of their players will say, "I'm out and want to leave"?
Well, that's interesting that you say that because they'll either do that or they'll sit pretty on the contracts for the cash at the championship.
You think so? No, dude. I think the players on there, especially someone like those who still have a career, like Richarlison, will be like, "Bro, I'm not wasting my time."
Bro.
in the championship.
Richarlison to Arsenal?
That might be cool.
Brazilian connection with Martinelli?
That could be cool.
You never
I
know.
like Richarlison.
That's actually a
Or
good shout.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Except the injuries. are
That's
the only
true.
concern.
That's true.
But
And
yeah, bro, like if Everton relegated, everyone will want to leave, and that's like opens opportunity for cheap players, basically.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking at this fixture list.
Hmm
And
I
I
don't see
just-
them winning these games, bro. I really don't.
Dude, I cannot. I mean, like, you want to give the benefit of the doubt to Lampard, but, like, I cannot see them winning these games. Even the 6-pointers. Like,
A player like who would be great? A player like Allen on Everton, get once Chaka leaves, get Allen in there, great. What or yeah, I mean honestly, Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison are who I'm looking at.
that's for sure. And I guess here, like, we could just round out these.
Or Tukore, is also quite good.
Yeah, you're right, actually. I think that's actually a really good shout. Like, just like, I mean, not only I guess Everton's probably the best team that would likely get relegated, but like any relegated club, like picking the good players from there, that might be a really good shout. I mean, Robertson is a classic example from that. Wijnaldum is a classic example of that. If you have the right coach, and Arteta can definitely mold them.
Let's see. All right, you know what? I'm gonna go on a little shopping spree right here and look for who'll be on sale in the bottom three.
That's for
Like,
sure.
just to help
Well, I guess as you're talking about bottom three, I can just mention the other fixtures. Newcastle get a valuable point against West Ham. Joe Willock, the Arsenal boy, getting a nice goal decision goal. And I guess West Ham look a bit weak. I mean, Declan Rice, poor clearance, and I guess they can only really get, they only really got their goal from a set play. So that was a good point for Newcastle away for sure, so putting them in good stead. And Burnley, bro, getting the second win of the season, 3-0. Some great strikes I saw in there. So they're kind of back in the mix. And again, with them, you have to just realize they have so many games in hand. I mean, probably have the most games in hand of any team in the whole league. So like, this is still tasty. Like, Newcastle,
Yeah.
Everton, Leeds. Like, I think they all. Now even looking at it, Brentford, considering their form, I could see them going down, being
I
18th.
would, yeah, like I would say the only player. Well, okay, I was doing some shopping.
Okay, what do you think?
The only player on Watford worth having is Sarr because he's a young winger and he plays super well. But the problem is that is already an occupied spot
Right.
with both Saka and Pepe. So that's not gonna. That's so Watford has no resale value for Arsenal. What about
I'm already gonna, I'll already cross off Norwich off your list. Norwich are trash. Nobody on Norwich is gonna be good
nobody
enough.
on Norwich is gonna make
So
Arsenal.
that's and Burnley probably too. Honestly, like I guess they just lost their only decent striker to Newcastle, and he's shit. Chris Wood.
Oh, so their new striker Maxwell
Cornet.
Cornet.
Oh, you're right.
What I've seen from him has been pretty decent at least in the games against Arsenal. So Cornet, let's see.
Yeah, it could be him. But
How old is he?
yeah, I think
25,
Everton.
perfect.
Yeah,
Ivorian. Well, he's a winger and fullback. Well,
yeah.
so yeah, maybe. Oh, actually, maybe Gabriel Martinelli and whoever Arsenal have as striker, are in striker, and then we get him on the left wing. But anyway,
Could be.
yeah, like I don't think anyone on sale out of those three. But hopefully Everton go down because then cheap players.
Yeah, I mean that Richarlison shout, like that might be, even if they don't go
Charleston.
down, I think it's a good
Yeah.
shout to try to get him anyway. But I mean, yeah, honestly, I guess that was the last of the fixtures. I guess I mentioned every result thus far, but now I'm looking at it like it is really like this is a really really interesting end of the season in the
Yeah.
relegation. Like honestly, any one of these 7 clubs could go down, and it's really gonna be a matter of like the fixtures themselves. But man, I'm worried for Everton, bro. Their fixture list looks tough. Like they are not gonna get through unless they have a defensive style and quick.
They are not. Okay, so I'm looking at Richarlison's stats, right? So I mean, of course, in the current season, I guess you can excuse because the team itself has been in turmoil. Last season, in 34 appearances in the league, he scored only 7 goals. The year before that, in
I mean,
you
but
know, like
keep in mind, bro, this is Rafa's Everton. This is like trash defensive. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you said it right about Arteta. Give him the player, he'll mold it into the system. And like I guess I agree with you. Richarlison's kind of meh, but
yeah.
like Arteta,
Although he is, I mean, he plays regularly for the national team, so clearly, right, there's some
that's exactly
they
right.
see something there. And so okay, like in 18-19 and 19-20, he scored a decent number of goals. He scored 13 goals in 35 games. But like if you had someone actually good, like in a team like Arsenal, maybe he'll do better. And he's still young, so I mean, he's got hopefully a high ceiling ahead of him.
Yeah, honestly, Everton are ripe for the picking. In any case, maybe we can just end here on looking at the fixtures for the next week. I guess
I
we'll
love
be
me a good
back.
sale, bro. I love a good sale. Jesus
We'll
Christ.
be back in March, actually. But let's see what we got here. I mean, Burnley Spurs at Turf Moor, that might present a tough challenge for them, especially given they just won and they'll probably want to prove themselves against Spurs at home. Crystal Palace, we didn't even talk about them and how they just like could not find anything against Chelsea. But they'll be playing Watford, and maybe Watford will get a little result there. Liverpool leads tomorrow. That'll be interesting. Arsenal Wolves again. That really like
That's a
just happened
Thursday.
a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago,
yeah.
so that'll be a nice revenge status. But like, I guess they didn't
And
mention.
now
Yeah,
it's at home to Arsenal, and that's a surefire
that's
win.
true. That's true. And yeah, especially with the crowd and the team playing the way
For,
they are at the Emirates. Yeah, that's for sure. And I guess Wolves, I didn't quite mention their goal scorers, but like Ruben Neves, man, like what a player! Like he's been on fire this season. Southampton,
we should.
Norwich. Yeah,
Oh,
interesting.
I think a great shout. Xhaka leaves in the summer. We get Ruben Neves.
That would
That's the
not be a
shout.
bad shout, honestly.
That's the shout. Yeah,
That would
but
not be a
I
bad.
think, I think it was either in the. I think it was over the winter break that people were saying, "Dude, sign Ruben Neves and get Jack out here." I think I think he'd be a great Arsenal player because then he's taking right. He's a deep lying playmaker and he's offering goals too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what Arsenal need. Arsenal needs more goals in general.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And
He'd be a
honestly,
good
from other
player.
places too, like from midfield, like if you can get a score from midfield, like that's great. I mean, obviously, I guess you can technically say like Emil Smith-Rowe is like attacking midfield, but like imagine you get. I mean, he's been scoring from outside the box, so that's crazy. And even Podence, like what a finish. But yeah, I guess like what's interesting in this fixture list, like obviously we'll see Everton. Can Lampard do us a favor and like shock them with the result there? Probably not, but like that would
Isn't
be
it wild?
interesting.
Ruben Neves was born in 1997.
Oh fuck, bro! You're
I
telling
know,
me
right?
he's 3 years younger than me?
Isn't that wild? But yeah, he's also a young player, perfect for Arsenal's team.
Bro, he looks like
Well,
an old man. Are you kidding me?
I know, right?
I feel so old right now. What am I?
I know, right?
What the fuck? That's crazy. Oh man. Well, I guess the other interesting ones here, I guess, are the relegation battles. Like I can see like Newcastle Brentford. That's a 6 pointer and a half. And I guess what is this like? West Ham Wolves. That'll be an interesting like European spot clash. But the Prem looks a bit boring. I mean, Champions League is back. That's an interesting one.
It was boring, man. Fuck you. The interesting race is not involving Liverpool or Man City,
No, you're
so that's
right.
good
You're
for you.
100%
It's good
right.
for you. But everything else is super spicy.
No, you're 100% right. I guess the fixtures this week are not quite.
I'll tell you again, bro. If you're looking for entertainment, bro, leave Liverpool. Hop over to somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I
And
guess what I will say is like
Liverpool ain't it, bro. Liverpool ain't it.
I think I'm very much like David Vujanic. Shout out to Vuj, where he says like I'm a football fan now. So it's like I love Liverpool. I want them to win. But I watch other games. I want to see good players. I want to see them score. I follow like certain personalities. That's why I watch Arsenal all the time because I'm just like I want to see Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka. Like I want to see, you know what I mean? So it's like I just a football fan. Like you just gotta watch. And obviously like this podcast helps because like I put everything on all weekend and already. So it's like it's a good focusing. In any
What's
case,
happening, bro? Are you sponsored by YouTube or something? Every other word is shout out to X.
nah, bro. That's what I said to you. Like I don't watch television.
I know, I know, I know.
All I watch is YouTube, and it's just
I'm just
like
playing with you, yeah.
you have to understand how many hours, like James Lawrence Alcott, Rory Jennings, the kickoff, like I just like it's
Stormy
every
Daniels.
channel, AFTV, all that shit. Like I mean, even AFTV, I'm not even subscribed, but like I want to see like what they thought because like I'm not arsed to see like even the analysis. Like I don't get much out of it. I just want to get a feel for like what was the game like, what did the fans feel, just like a quick like. But in any case, lots of YouTube.
What I really want to see is like AFTV interviewed TT in prison. That's what I'd see.
Well, it would be great content, and I certainly would watch it.
I want like a live feed in like the rec room in prison where he's watching the Arsenal game and getting super angry.
Yeah.
That's what I
Arteta, get this fraud out of my club!
Live security feed, and then he has his ass kicked by like non-Arsenal players because he's
Oh my God.
such a douchebag.
Oh man, that is hilarious.
And then- that's
In
what I
any
was saying.
case, I appreciate you, Syria, as
AFTV,
always.
that's how you get views, AFTV. You gotta
Oh,
get
yeah.
on our level, have these ideas.
That's true. AFTV, you got to sign up. Syria, he's got you, and he's an Arsenal fan too.
I'm a creative director right here. I'm a big
Robbie, sign him up.
I'm a big picture kind of guy. I don't write. I don't know anything like that. I come up with ideas, bro.
Bro, Don Robbie, you heard it here first. This is your man. Any case, Syria, thank you. You all, the 5 of you who are watching, thank you. And Prem, FA, a bunch of frauds. Sort your shit out, as always. Peace.
Fucking ref.